Hello everyone, welcome to Sunday's Malaysia stock watch list. So in this video, I'm going to talk about a hot sector in Malaysia, which is the glove sector. So as you can see in this chart, there are 4 stocks right there. TopGlov is the world's largest glove maker, and followed by Supermx, Harta and Kossan. So these are the top big 4 in Malaysia Bursa market in terms of the glove sector. So in terms of the fundamental, I think they are brilliant. It's just outstanding. So in terms of the earning, the latest quarter, I think the growth on a year-on-year basis is probably range from maybe 4 to even 30 times in terms of just the profit alone. So this is just amazing. And in terms of the fundamental, like the real demand from the world, is just a spike to its historical level. So definitely in terms of the fundamental, there is a very strong support, but really we just want to find out in terms of the price structure and also the supply and demand as reflected in the chart right here. So let's just take a look the world's biggest glove maker, TopGlov, first. So in terms of the performance, you can see that it just exploded in May this year due to the COVID-19, the strong demand surge, and we see that the share price actually grew right around 2 to the peak around 9.5. So definitely is a multi-bagger for TopGlov. And in terms of the volume, you can see huge spike of the volume, a lot of the demand right there in May and June, and followed by a brief pullback and another acceleration to the up move. So it's just end up become a climatic up move. So what happened to TopGlov chart right now? So let's just take a look right there. So this is definitely a buying climax. So we see a 2-tier run. So you can see there's a climatic up move with some gapping action, and subsequently that actually forms a trading range right there. So this is the change of character that temporarily stopped this uptrend that happened in August. So the trading range has been going on for maybe since August, about 4 months, and we see that there is some demand come in July in this dip right there, and subsequently we see that demand has been decreasing, but still the momentum carry upwards. And in terms of this change of character that temporarily stopped the strong up move right there, we see supply has been decreasing, but it's not very threatening at the moment. It's just until probably this sign of weakness showed up. So you can see that there's a spike of the supply right there. So a lot of the distribution on the way down to sell on the way down, lock in a profit. That's about range from 9 to probably 6.5 or 6 ringgit. And subsequently, there's a strong buyback there, and you can see in this demand volume right there. But slowly we see that demand has been fading, and you can see this up move right there probably is just created an uptrust or maybe attempt to uptrust. But certainly I think demand it has been fading, and that actually follows by some supply come in, and we see some gap down action. And let's take a look here. You can see that this price movement right there that comes with a spike of the volume. So a lot of the supply come in on this gap down there, and followed by another gap down on here as well. So we definitely see supply increasing on the way down. And I think the most interesting part is definitely in the mid of November until now. So why is that? So we can see that this is the first time we see the weakness. It actually create a lower low with an increasing of the supply, and subsequently right after this attempt to upthrust, or maybe just a test, we see some of the increasing of the supply, and now this rally is very much different from the past that we have seen right there. So here we see a lot of the demand come in, and that actually reflect in the price movement. Huge bullish bar, gapping up, brief pullback, and a lot of the absorption on this bearish bar, and subsequently you can see price just push up. But now we see that the rally is getting very small. We see a very little up wave, and despite we having quite a lot of the attempt, there's a first attempt, second, third, and that comes with probably increasing of the supply as well. Take a look at this supply or the volume, compare it to here as well. So every time we see this kind of the rally, and that come with some supply to just absorb the demand. So this is another attempt to rally up, but look at the supply come in right there. So this is the supply, and also this time we see even greater effort to push the price up, yet we did not really create a higher high. Instead, we just have another bearish bar with a increasing of the supply right there. And subsequently, right after this first, second, third time, and now we see another gap down action that comes with high supply level as well. But the only thing that is relatively constructive is we're still within this support zone right there. But definitely to me, the inability to rally up right after probably 3 times, 4 times, it just shows that there are a lot of the supply right there, and you can see that it's very much different from the past rally up there. So that small up wave, that just shows that it is an inability to rally up, and with an increasing of the supply that kept the upside movement. And you can see near this bar right there, so that's probably about a week ago, right after this quite a few attempts to rally up, we see that this is definitely the supply zone right there. So this is all the supply zone, and subsequently it just break down with a gap down action, and it just go back to have a test with the low demand right there. So I think there's a high chance for this to just break down of the immediate support level at 6 ringgit. Because of the emergence of the supply, and that's probably the last point of the supply just before the breakdown happened, and we should see some kind of the capitulation to the downside. Okay, so that's TopGlov. I think TopGlov is so far the strongest. If not, I think should be SuperMax. They are pretty much a similar chart. You can just take a look here. So this is the first chart here is TopGlov, and second chart here is SuperMax. So in terms of the relative strength, I think they are very similar. So if we just compare it to these few points right there, probably SuperMax is slightly stronger. So you can see that right now it's just testing the previous swing low level formed in about July, while Harta and Kossan in July, that's the swing low, and in July that's the swing low that already broken. So that's a swing low, so you can see that Harta and Kossan already broke the July swing low. So definitely is the weakest in terms of the price structure. But let's just quickly take a look at SuperMax. So this is SuperMax. So another multi-bagger stock since May this year, about 1 ringgit. and August about close to $12, so definitely 10 times bigger. So it's incredible stock. But what happened now? So we see that definitely is this kind of the change of character, and we see a lower high form, but so far it's still within this trading range from about 6 to 8. So I think in terms of the structure, it probably I think TopGlov is stronger, but still it's very similar to SuperMax. But in terms of the volume level, SuperMax is just shows that still there is a sign of weakness right there with the increasing of the supply level. And during the change of character, there are quite a lot of the supply, consistent supply, to push the price down. And subsequently, we see this rally just failed to touch the high right there, and that comes with relatively low demand. And subsequently, the reaction down comes with a spike of the supply level, but the supply decreasing, and we have an attempt to rally up. But look at the attempt. So it just kind of meet the supply zone and then dies down immediately. So this is the supply zone. So another supply zone shown out here as well. So this bar here is probably a value buy by some of the fund or some of the investor, but eventually it just become a supply zone itself. As we can see, it just fell right there, and it just showed the inability to rally up. So definitely in terms of the price structure and also the action, it looks bearish. Despite that, we have a decreasing of the supply throughout, but the demand is even poorer. So let's just see whether it will just break below $6. So until then, it should just keep showing a very weak demand with this kind of the rally, and then get sell down immediately. So you can see that happened. Another price action happened right there. So all this shows that there is a strong supply within the supply zone, and also despite the supply has been decreasing, we did not really show any quality demand to push the price up. So overall, it's bearish to me. So that's SuperMax, and let's just go to the next one. Next one is Harta. In terms of a price structure, it's definitely a lot weaker than SuperMax and also TopGlov. We see that there's a lot of the buying in maybe since February to May, and there is a spike right there, consolidation, climatic up move. But look at this change of the character. So it just wiped out a lot of the profit right there, a lot of the gain. So in terms of this strike of the uptrend, it's just pretty much wipe out all the gain from this second leg right there. So definitely in terms of price structure is weaker than TopGlov and also SuperMax. And we see that there's quite a lot of the supply even in this preliminary supply, and we see that on the way down right there, that's definitely increasing of the supply, and eventually we see some value buying, but demand has been fading, and it actually failed to touch the previous all-time high right there. And the interesting part is definitely this past 1 or 2 months, you can see that this is definitely huge gap down with the spike of the supply right there, and we definitely can see a lot of the supply, even this bar affected here. There's the selling on the way down, and subsequently we see this kind of the urgent sell, and eventually look at the rally. So it just doesn't really show any lift right there, and we see another reaction down with the increasing of the supply. So definitely the price action is a lot weaker. So now it just hit the immediate support level about 1150. So the real capitulation moment will be a breakdown below this previous swing low. So in terms of the price structure, definitely is a distribution. Next one will be the last one, the Kossan Rubber. So in terms of the structure, is very similar to Harta. So we see that the real price movement actually just explode in May. That's similar to TopGlov and also Supermx, and followed by a very low supply pullback, and subsequently look at this amazing climatic run up. So all the way from 4 to about 9, and look at the tangent right there, the curve. So it's very steep, and we see that there is some of the selling in this bar, but some buying just happened to keep pushing the price up, and this is a lot like a TP formation distribution. So we see some selling on the way up, and also selling on the way down, and also that's a lot of the supply, and eventually this just fell right there with the increasing of the supply. So this is definitely a sign of weakness. And look at the rally right after this oversold condition. So that's the oversold condition. We see some value buyback, and definitely demand has been fading, and eventually it just kind of touched this supply zone. So let's see, where's the supply? So that is a supply zone, and you can see that it just fell right there. So despite the low level of the supply, it just see the ease of movement in terms of the price movement, and we see another gap down action with a spike of the supply and some of the value buying right there, but there is no follow through, no lift. Look at the rally is very small, and eventually just drift down with a spike of the supply again, gap down action, and right after the oversold level just have a bit of the technical rebound. But look at the rebound, so where it actually ends. So there's a gap, resistance. So overall it's very bearish. So I think the real capitulation will be a break below this immediate support level at 4.5. So overall is another distribution type of the structure. So I think in terms of these four glove stock, TopGlov, SuperMax, Harta, and also Kossan, their price structure, they all shows distribution structure, and in terms of the volume, they are definitely increasing of the volume, and that perfectly match the distributional type of a structure. So I think now it's just a lack of a capitulation down move, which will just break below. Then it will see a lot of the supply come out, a spike of the supply together with huge bearish bar where a lot of the funds just give up their position. But just bear in mind, this is not a log chart. If we just look at the log chart, it might not be that scary yet. So you can see that in terms of the log chart, then I think it's still pretty much a relatively shallow type of the pullback. So even it just drop, it's still overall year to date again will be still relatively impressive from around maybe that's 1.7 to now currently is about 6.6. Even it dropped to this immediate support level about 5, or even at this level 3.5, it still has a lot of the gain if you compare it to the start of the year at about 1.7. All right. Anyway, so this is my conclusion for this top 4 glove stocks in Malaysia: TopGlov, SuperMax, Harta, and also Kossan. So they all shows a distributional type of the quality with the increasing of the supply level. So definitely it does not look bullish at all, despite the fundamental outlook, and also probably the earning also support that, but definitely on the chart right now is looking very bearish to me. Alright, so this is the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it and get something useful out from the video. So if you'd like to learn more on how to increase your winning rate, definitely check out the video that showed on the screen right now. And do remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also to just get my weekly stock watch list update via the email, and the link is in the description. So it's all free, so just join below. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon.